Digging and mining in 7 Days to Die is pretty much a crucial part of long-term survival, being able to get additional resources for crafting, repairs, and upgrades. But everybody knows you dig and mine too much, and she shows up to ruin the party. Now, in herself, she's not too big a deal. She has a tendency to call in a bunch of her friends, and they can cause a huge problem. But she only shows up when the heat map gets up to a certain level. Now, we know we've covered a bunch of things like torches and campfires and candles and all that other stuff about raising the heat map up, which if you want to see some more about that, I'll link the videos in the description down below if you want to go check them out after this video. But what about just basic level mining and digging? How much does that actually raise the heat map up? And do different resources raise it up at different levels? Well, that's what we're going to test today. Okay, so what I did was I set up one of the each kind of basic level ores that you can find in the game that you do mining. We got iron, lead, coal, potassium, and oil, and I set them up this way because it's to give me a good way to show you which one I'm working on. And you can see over in the screen, I also have the heat map index pulled up, and right now you can see after the chunk I'm in, which is 5789, the heat event here is 0, and it's at 0%. So, for a baseline, I wanted to check real quick, just basic level here, just digging with a shovel for a little bit. I want to dig a small hole just for a baseline to see if regularly digging in the dirt or the grass or things like that actually cause the heat map to go up at all, if that's something you have to deal with, or if it's only really when you're trying to get different kinds of materials like shales and things like that. So, we're going to test out real quick, dig a little bit of a hole here first and see if it goes up at all. Okay, that's a decent sized hole just to kind of test it out and see if it works out or not. It rose it up by 0.00, so it did not go up at all, and that is using a shovel. Using a pickaxe on the ground, obviously it's less efficient, but it does the same thing. After doing this for a little while, it doesn't raise the heat up at all. So, digging up dirt and sand and clay like that doesn't seem to increase the heat map at all. So, we want to test it out and see of the different kind of metallic ores, because I've been told that the metallic-based ores raise the heat map up more than any of the other ones here. And these are all of a similar of a metallic one. We're going to start with the iron ore, just going to hit it one time with the pickaxe and see what it does. Okay, so hitting it one time made it go up by 0.1%, 0.10% here. So it looks like it goes up 0.1% every single time that you hit it. Now, when we break a shale ore here, let's see if it... Okay, so when it actually completes, you can see it jumped up almost 3 full percentage by completing the breaking of that one ore. So for each individual hit on that ore, it went up 0.10, and when it actually completed, it looked like it went up almost another full 3 to almost 3.5% total just for one small little block of iron ore. All right, interesting. Now let's see if the lead ore does any differently. It's at 3.54. Okay, so that's going up 0.1. Oh, interesting. Okay. So the lead ore, it went up the first hit, and it didn't go up again. So lead may not have... Let's try that again here. Let me get my lead ore. I'm going to replace this here. Put it on there again, and I want to see if that's actually right. Let me go around to the other side so we can make sure we're getting a good hit on it. Lead ore. So we're sitting at 3.4. Okay, it went up 0.1, 0.1. Okay, so it is going up 0.1 for each one of those, just like it did with the iron ore. I'm not sure why it was doing that weird in the first one, but it is what it is. And then, boom, it jumped up another almost 3% when it completed that. So iron and lead went up the exact same amount. Now, coal is not specifically metal-based, but let's see if it goes up the same amount. Okay, so far it's not going up at all, but we'll wait to see if it does anything when it completes. Okay, so it went a 0.5% when it completed. Let me get some more coal here and put that up there and try that again here, just to make sure there wasn't any kind of wonkiness. All right, so 4.14. Okay, so hitting coal, it's not going up at all. Okay, all right, so when we complete it, it goes up 0.5. Okay, so when you're beating on coal, it doesn't go up at all until the actual ore block breaks, and then it goes up a 0.5% there. That's very interesting. Okay, let's go around and check out potassium and see if that does anything. This is where you get some nitrate from. We're at 6.98, and on the first hit, it's going up nothing. So let's see if this does just like the coal ore here. And that went up 0.5% too. So coal and potassium work the same, where it didn't do any heat raising at all until you get to the very end. When it breaks it, it went up a 0.5%, versus lead and ore went up 0.10 on every single hit. Okay, now let's try oil shale, because it's a little bit different than the way any of the rest of these work here. So we're at 4.64 right at the moment. Okay, so it's not going up at all. Let's see if it jumps up a percentage when it breaks down the final block here too. 4.64 to 5.14. So it went up a 0.5% as well. Okay, so it does seem like the metal-based one, iron and lead, go up more every single time that you hit them, versus coal, potassium, and oil shale goes up only when you complete the build there. Okay, so let me replace these. I want to try another test real quick. All right, so now I want to try this out using the Auger. Now we know the Auger in itself raises the heat map up every single time you use it. So I'm gonna come right over here and not hit anything. See, we're at 5.1. Actually, we're in a different part of the chunk there. Let's come back over in the same chunk we were in to make sure it's all, looks like these two parts overlap the chunks here, but no big deal. Okay, so we're 5.14 from right here. Let me raise it up so you can see a little bit better. Every single time you click the mouse, it goes up 1%. So if you're going to be doing any mining and you just do a bunch of rapid clicking, it goes up 1% every time you use that. If you hold it down, you can see it's just sitting here churning away, not doing anything. It only went up the one time that you click the button here. So I'm going to let it run for a second to see if it actually does go up another one. Doesn't seem like it's going up at all. But if you stop and just click the mouse, so every time you go like this, single tap it, it goes up 1%. You do remember that when you're doing your mining. It is way more efficient when it comes to heat to just hold down the button and see how much it actually goes up. So I wanted to see if by mining this with an auger, if it changes. Now, I'm assuming it probably will, because the auger is going to have its own heat level and the iron ore as well. So we're at 28.14. I'm just going to click it one time and see what it does, okay? So one click, we go 21.34, 22.54. So it's going up 1.2 for each one of those. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, so it's going up 1.2% every single time that you single click that. 1.2%. Versus 0.1% on its own and 1% on its own by this. So it's combining those, and it's actually going up a little bit higher. Let's see if it does the same thing with the lead ore. It's going from 25.94, 26.94, 27. Interesting. Okay, so let me come back around over on this side and try it from this angle, because we're in a... Hang on, let me see. I'm going to need to make sure I'm in the same chunk here so we don't get any kind of discrepancies. Okay, so that's going up 10.8 to 12.08. That's 1.2 as well. Okay, so just like with the regular one, iron ore and lead ore both function the same when you single hit them. Now I want to see what the heat is if I just hold it down and go up here. So we're at 30.94. Okay, so 31.94. Okay, so it didn't go up a full percentage each time. It looked like it went up 0.2% each time. I have to do this again on this one here because it's a little bit difficult. And then when you finish breaking that down, it goes up a full 3% like the last time. Okay, so 13.8%, we go 2, 4, 6. Okay, so when you're holding down the auger and you're going over there, instead of going up 0.1%, it goes up 0.2%. So you actually have, it's faster, of course, to go up with the auger on these. You have to do some math here, basically. So the auger by itself goes up 1% every time you click the mouse. If you're using it to chop ore one at a time, it goes up 1.3%. Sorry, 1.2% for every single time it hits it. Or if you hold it down and go down, it goes up 0.2% every single time that it hits it. So that's a lot of math to have to keep in. I'll probably put all those numbers on the screen so it makes a little bit more sense. We will see what this one does, because this one didn't do anything until it actually broke. Same thing with all of these, so I'll just test it on cold. Okay, 40.54, let's see here. Alright, so coal is not going up at all. Even when it broke. Okay, so coal didn't go up even a little bit, even when it broke by using the auger. Okay, so 16.8 just to get it started. Potassium is not doing anything. See if it goes up. No. Okay, so coal and potassium ore don't go up at all when you're using the auger, other than just the event of using the auger. What about oil? It's going from 41.54. 41.54. Okay, all right then. So coal, potassium and oil, definitely use the Auger on, because all you have to do is hold it down 1, it goes up 1% to start it, and you can just mine into your little heart's content, and it didn't raise the heat at all. Iron and lead, on the other hand, are the ones that's going to go up the most. So there you go. That is pretty much what I wanted to test in this one. There's so many different events that raise the heat map up, but this is one of those that you don't really think about. You think about the tools you're using, but not the individual blocks. So if you have some other things you'd like me to test out the heat map on, do let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this one useful, maybe leave a like on it, leave me a comment, share it out if you found it useful. And hopefully it'll help you guys make good decisions when it comes to not trying to call in the screamers. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.